Hi guys. So I may have forgot. Hi guys. That's a good start, isn't it? So I may have forgotten to eat. You know that thing that you meant to do. Oh my goodness, I'm just not having a time right now. Hang on. Right. So yeah, I may have forgotten to eat. So I figured we could just sit and just chatting for a couple of minutes while I stuff my face. I could turn the camera off, and then you could look at that little cute thing. Falling to bits here. It's ridiculous. I won't actually take a bite of the burger on camera though, because like you don't need to see me being all like, "Wah." Hi. How you doing? It's 6 months. Oh my goodness. How are you? How's everything going? Excuse me a second. Hmm. How are you doing, Azato? How are you today? I am not too bad, thank you very much. Pardon on, I'm in a bit of pain because I lifted heavy stuff, and that's not a very good idea when you're a cripple. But did what I had to. But other than that, I'm absolutely champion. I'm glad you're doing well, and it's nice to see you. I've missed you guys, honestly. I have. Oh. That's the second time I've forgot about that. A closed caption thing. The thing is, it pops up with that message saying that I forgot to turn it on. And then when I go on to the extension to turn it on, it's on. So riddle me that. I don't think it'd really understand us anyway. When I tested it out, I've been like, "Oh, hiya, how you doing?" And it won't say that. It doesn't say that. It says something completely different. I don't even know if you can actually see that message that's popped up about the "you forgot to turn on your closed captions." I fucking know. What we got next, and do I have to press the skip button? Oh no, I like this one. Not that I'm playing music. For the sake of the VODs. Damn AI, right? My goodness, it's so rude. Excuse me while I bite the burger again. Have you got anything planned for the weekend? No point in putting lipstick on, was there? Well, not lipstick, lip tint. This is literally how fun it's going to be for like the first 10 minutes, man. Just talking with you guys and putting chips in my face. I don't have any plans for the weekend. Apart from sticking it out with you guys. And playing some Elden Ring. No. Elder Scrolls. I mean, I could play Elden Ring. I've got it. I do love Elden Ring. I don't have Night Rain, though. Well, hi there. How you doing? I forgot to eat again. So I'm doing it now. So I figured we can eat dinner together. All of us. Oh, just working. Yeah, bless you. It's a date. Oh, I just got a message on Kick as well. Hi, baby. I have no plans this weekend. I've been working nights this week, so only chillers get to turn around. Ooh, nights. Oof. I did not like nights. I will have to change. I froze. Oh no. I'll have to change the title on Kick in a minute. Because it won't be happy. Have I unfroze on Kick yet? And do you have much planned for the weekend, Nickel? Do 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 do. I was gonna jump on Helldivers and then you popped up. Oh, don't let me spoil your Helldivers. That game does look fun. That is on my to buy list. But because my to be played list is so long, we're waiting. We're waiting. Otherwise, I'll just keep adding to it and it'll just be terrible. It'll be like my to be read list. Oh my goodness. So, Cyber, does that mean you're getting 2 days of D&D? Everything else. Oh, excuse me. I'm not very good at this just talking thing. And I have Monster Hunter Wilds Play too. New tempered monster we need to take. Oh, there's new temp. Oh, I'm going to have to get back on that. I'm going to have to get back on that. What's the new one? Or is it literally a new monster altogether? Or have they just made one of them tempered now? Potential spoiler alert, anyone? Don't ask about this. I just do it. I even do it in person. You know, Cyber. We could potentially do that tomorrow. Some Monster World. Wilds. Wilds. I mean, we could do World if you want. Because technically tomorrow is Social Saturday. So, I love this song. Keep me on the ground. Bella's just sitting there eyeing me chips. Rank 3 monster. Hitting like a train again. Oh, shite. Okay. So that's going to be fun. Ooh. At least the stuff will look really cool, though, won't it? I'm nearly done, I swear. And then we will get right on into gaming. And it'll be more entertaining. I think you promise. I really need to stop forgetting to eat, to be honest. That would be the ideal thing, wouldn't it? Like, it's kind of important. I feel like there's something on my eyelash. Last Monsters from Crime Table I got now. Which ones were those? It's been a hot minute since I played it. I think the last monster I fought that was like brass. It's a bit difficult. I found when you first encounter, I can't even remember the names of them, that's a problem, and I named them something that isn't even their name. The new water monster. Is that the one that makes the super cutesy armors and like the Sakura everything? It's got the cherry blossoms on it and stuff. Beautiful stuff, that. The bubble dragon. That is such adorable and beautiful armor, though. Oh no, the button doesn't work. Sorry, that was terrible. It just burned into the mic. I do like that song, but no. Yes. I popped out a tip. Popped out a tip. Uh-huh, uh-huh. And if you didn't hear I popped out my tip before now, you will. That's the one I'm on. Mm-hmm. I agree. Mm. I'm glad we made a female character for the playthrough that we do on Twitch. Because, yeah, that armor is not as good on a bloke like. I popped out my tit. Mm-hmm. Come back, girl, what's up? Bit of variation music for you, innit? Bella, stop it. I'm nearly done. Get you. Okay, let's go. Oh, maybe not. All you gotta do is just meet me at the... Fucking lip rings. Lip rings! Okay, let's go. Right. Are we prepared for some absolute bullshit gameplay? Good. Because that's what you're getting. Continue. They don't really have variations in the armor for wilds either, do they? They've literally just been like, well, you can be anything. You can identify as what you want and all that malarkey, so we'll just keep the armor exactly the same. We'll only slightly change it every now and then. Which I suppose is better than the other Monster Hunter where it was like the men get big beefy armor, the women get metallic bras. Get down, please. Right, so we sold her stuff. I remember when Skyrim came out, I bought a collector's edition and got a dragon star. Oh, I bet you that looked awesome. Do you still have it? Do you? Do you? Is that dog still there? Hang on. I told them to follow me. I thought this yesterday.
Interest you in some marksman training?
No. Oh yeah, still got it good. Well, I can hear them. Where's the dog? Where's the woman? Where's the woman? Are you in any Discords? I pressed the wrong button again. I literally just want to see the statue. I'm not even gonna lie. I need to see it. Thank you for the lurk. I appreciate you. I have a glass cabinet. Will I remember? If I keep going like this, I'll have to buy another one. Oh no. Nope, that's not what I want either. Right, we can get the books. I feel like we should do that in a minute and get rid of some of the first ones that we had. We'll do this one. What's the closest thing we'll have today? Solitude. Oh, it is right at the bottom, Solitude, yeah. Okay. wait. No. Do not get sidetracked. We have a mission.
They say the college has been snooping around Sarthor. Mages in a burial crypt? No good.
Yeah. She still didn't go travel with it. Where the hell is she? Did I leave her in the college? Bella, stop it. Did I leave her in the college? Oh, you're a pretty bastard. Well, she's definitely not here. I'm sure she was outside the Thieves Guild with us, though. It's not questionable at all.
I think the college is due for a change in leadership.
Oh. Rebellion. Love it.
What you learn here will last you a lifetime. Several if you're talented.
Okay. Can I? Oh no, it's broken. Okay, I'm gonna have to go for an earlier load because oh, I can't. Why? Oh, because I'm in the. Shh. I knew that. I don't think I've asked before where you're from. I am from the northeast of the UK, near Newcastle. Hence the fabulous accent. This says autosave though. I didn't even look at the date. I've literally probably just went back to when we've started today. I have, haven't I? Yeah. Dickhead. Where are you from? If you don't mind me asking. Right, this one. And this is the last save I can load, so if the... I think. Was that the last save I could load? Pretty sure that's gonna be the last save I could load. Yep. So we've just lost her now then. No wait. Ooh. Nice. So we have people from Norway, Denmark and Sweden that pop into chat. Ooh, I like it.
Interest you in some marksman training?
No, I need to find my people. I have lost them. And I'm pretty sure I had her carrying some fun stuff, so I need to find her. I feel like she'll be like, I've been double-crossed by the devil. Nope. We've established the loading of the saves. No worky. I'm sure we brought her down from the college, you know. I think she's glitched. I really hope she wasn't carrying anything massively valuable. Oh, the door's still broken. Oh no! Oh! Fixed it. Still gotta try and find her though. Right, we have an ad starting in 3 minutes for anyone that gets ads, just so you know. You don't get ads on Kick though, so you're fine. As far as I'm aware. Did I leave her up here? I don't remember having her here. Please be in here. Ah, I've lost me person. Shit. Could I have left her in the student accommodation? Hello, nothing to see here.
What you
Goodbye.
learn here will last you a lifetime.
I'm sure.
Several. It's no secret that the college's reputation in Skyrim is tainted.
Should we go check the student quarters? Student accommodation. On tonight's episode, the hunt for the extra. Oh, well, that's the...
You are new, yes? Have you mastered the expert-level distraction spells yet? Is it? This is disappointing. Jezargo hoped there might be one who could keep pace with his accomplishments. There is much for Jezargo to be sure of.
I like how
There
he's
is
got a
skill
long
in magic,
mustache.
there is charm, and there is a strong will.
That's good.
Jezargo will be successful. Of this there is
Yeah,
no
I had to
doubt.
start in about 30 seconds, just so you know.
Mages in Cyrodiil are all about politics. The Synod and the College of Whispers are too busy guarding secrets to bother to teach. Skyrim was not Jezargo's first choice, but Winterhold is removed from politics, dedicated to study. This is the place for Jezargo to become great. Until next time.
Oh, so does he not give you the task
Can
unless
you
you're like, I'm awesome?
Oh, but you are wrong. The only reason you could disagree is because you are losing so badly you cannot see it. Jezargo has seen that Torftir likes you.
Oh, no.
You
I
must be
just have
very
to-
skilled with magic, yes? Jezargo is working hard, but cannot do it alone. Can you help with this? Jezargo has worked hard on learning new spells, trying new things. This will make Jezargo stand out as a mage. But Jezargo works so hard, there is no time to test these new spells. If you help with the testing, this will make learning easier. Jezargo will give you scrolls. You will use
Busy,
them
I'm
and
busy.
report the results. This is a good plan, no? You tell Jezargo when you are ready. You can't resist, can you? Let's see. Jezargo has designed it to be an excellent flame cloak with a twist. It is especially potent against the undead and should burn them to a crisp in no time. Jezargo gives you plenty of these scrolls, so you try them and return when you can say whether they
Daravar.
work.
The Argonians stole my McNuggets. Oh, I love it so much. Oh.
Jezargo awaits word of how well his scrolls work.
Right, so we've got some scroll. I still need to find this blinking helper.
If you have a moment, could you help me with something? Before you even ask, yes, I have an ancestry steeped in magic, and no, I don't want to talk about it. Yes, I know Winterhold used to be full of my kind, and no, I don't care that they're all gone now. Does that cover everything? I've just been asked enough questions. I'm here to learn not to explain myself over and over. Forgive
Oh.
me. I didn't mean to assume.
Sorry, I'm having to pull me back a little bit. 'Cause I don't-
We're all trying to become better mages, right? Well, I need someone I can practice a few spells on. Nothing dangerous, really. Would
They
you be
all
willing to
say
assist
that.
me?
Nothing dangerous, and then the next thing you know, your head gets blown off, your ass gets set on fire.
Well, I simply thought you might wish to help out one of your fellow mages. If that's not enough, I suppose, I have this amulet you could take. No, not that kind of spell. Believe me when I say I wouldn't be asking if it weren't necessary.
Okay.
Oh, good. I was afraid I'd have to go ask J'zargo. Now, you just stand there. Please hold still, and don't move. There. Now oh dear. That wasn't supposed to happen. Do you feel all right? You look very, green. I am
With
so
a Hulk.
very sorry.
Yes.
I went over this again and again, and I was sure it would have better results. It's not. It shouldn't be. You'll be back to normal in no time.
Hopefully.
And when you are, we can try this again, and I'll be sure to get it right.
Maybe.
Didn't you know? Before the Oblivion Crisis, many elves called Winterhold their home. More visited the college from Morrowind every year. After, growing distrust of magic made life difficult for many. Some left rather than endure the growing hatred from the local Nords. Others returned home after
Welcome
the
back
Red
from the
Year,
ads, anyone that
when
had.
Vardenfell erupted and caused much destruction. Winterhold itself died in the years between then and now. What's left out there is a husk.
What?
Only the college really remains.
Go this way. Go.
Wait. Oh, yeah. I don't think we're green, just everything
I
else
still
is
need some
green, you
help,
know?
If you can spare the time.
Oh, I did that one too soon. Oh, no.
I still need some help. If you can spare the time. Until next time.
I have no idea what that clip was.
At least something good came out of that trip
I think
to
maybe she's
Sarthal.
up on the second
Didn't
floor.
find anything
Did I
but
leave her
dust.
there? Oh. I think she's glitched, you know.
I understand you're the one that found this orb in Sarthal.
Yes. I think she's glitched. Is there a way to, like, get back glitched people? The only thing I can think of is going over where we've been. See if I've left her there. I don't remember leaving her there, though. Like, I was pretty sure she was with us when we went to the Thieves Guild. Fuck off. Everything's green. Like, I think she's just glitched. She vanished. I'm convinced she had something, like, good on her. She might not have, though. Let's go get another companion now. God's sake. Keep losing companions. Sven dies. This one just decides she doesn't want to exist anymore. What's it with me and companions? Unfair. Unfair, that's what this is. Oh, sorry. Everything's green. Oh, you were having a good time, weren't you? Oh no. been a while. Can't see more than 15 feet in front of us. Why the hell did my health show up there? I don't think we're going to find her in here, but I just need to go over everywhere with... Whoop! I may have forgotten about... Ah. That's if she's still there. Crikey. Hey, Miss Lady Ma'am. Ooh, mushrooms. Uh oh. Ooh, good. Didn't set it off. Good, 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 good. Is this a common glitch? Like disappearing companions? Oh, well, he's still here with the orb. Hello.
Good to see Skyrim still has such fun spells and incantations for those with the talent to cast them.
I've just stole a bunch of them. I think I'm alright. Firestorm, Stereo Mayhem, Candlelight. Candlelight? Oh, hovers over caster, okay. Mage Light, Stone Flesh, Staff of a Familiar. Ooh, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. What can I sell him? I'm not going to need it, but if we get a companion that has magic skill, that may be handy. At least sell 2 of them. Sven. Yes, stupid bugger. Someone's journal. A letter. Museum pamphlet. Okay. Only 67. I thought we would have got more for that. Got no need for that, so I'll sell that. I know that one, so there's no point. Oh, I have a Staff of Mage Light. Oh, well, that's alright then, isn't it? Okay. Bye.
All right then.
Yeah, I think she's lost, guys. I think she's gone. I think she's gone. I really hope she didn't have anything really good on her. I'm pretty sure if we go back to that person in the college, though, after we've helped them, we can have them as a helper. One way to find out, really, and then we'll crack on with our missions. I really wanted to find that lost person, though. Never mind. I I hope it's not a common glitch. I didn't want all of my companions to end up either missing or dead. How very Lord of Voldemort. I went the wrong bit. Dishes.
I still need some help. Exactly as I said it would. Now, are you ready to try again? I am confident it will work this time.
Oh no! Get us off. Hi guys. You don't want us on the big telly, man. Is this when they're all now going to look at you and be like, she sounds like that?
This will be worth it. Okay, now don't move at all.
Oh god.
Oh my. That isn't right. Just wait. Just...
Oh.
I can fix this. Oh no, that's not it at all. Let me try again. This really isn't turning out the way I'd hoped. I'll get it right this time. I swear. There. All better.
Debatable. Can I go back? Thank you. What? Haha!
Well, it all worked out in the end, didn't it? Oh, no, it hasn't. Let's be honest.
Well, I was trying to be polite.
I have a long way to go before I'm ready for the kind of advanced magic I've been attempting. But at least I know where to start now. Thank you. You've been a great help to me. Looks like you've already got someone with you.
I don't, because they fucking vanished. Are you kidding? Now I can't even have someone with us. That's taking the piss, that. But I don't have anybody. Can you fucking see them? I can't fucking see them. What the fuck? Yeah. Take the piss. Where's the Thieves Guild? Is it over this way? No. Where the fuck? No, further down. So she's vanished and we can't get her another help. It's a load of crap, this. I am unimpressed with this glitch. Did she take a fucking invisibility potion or something? Like, what the fuck?
What's on your mind?
My missing companion. If you must know. Nope. Did I leave us standing anywhere in here? That's not fair. I'm gonna have to carry everything myself now. I am unimpressed. Unimpressed. Right, anyway, let's crack on. I've spent half an hour looking for this bitch. I went through the wrong door. My goodness. What's the betting, right?
Unacceptable condition! Unacceptable!
I agree. Hello, Sidious. How you doing? Sorry. Move, Michael, move. Move. Fucking hell. I'm well, thank you. I'm not too bad, thank you, apart from the fact I've lost my companion.
It's the fucking lamp. Oh, it's the. I got fucking. I got trolled by seeds because I'm not.
Did you get trolled? Did you get trolled? I'm getting trolled by this fucking game. What was that mumble? I don't know. If I'm honest. My companion's gone missing and it's fucking pissing me off. Because I can't get another one and that one's glitched. I feel like I should just send the dog home. Oh, is it going to my house? Oh, that would be cool. That would be cool. Wrong button again. Right, where's this thing that we're doing? Up here. Oh, look, we've already been. And I've cleared it. Where was the book then? Look how sad he is. I know. Would he be happy when he goes home? Oh, you look like someone I should shoot. No. Boop. Yep. You bitch. Oh, well, I'm up now, so... Are you gonna move? Nope, because magic. Hello. Have one of them. Do this. Nope, wrong button. Do this. That went really well, too. Oh my god! Why is everything going so badly? Did you tell them to wait somewhere? No! So, wee bit of a skill issue here. Oh, throughout the entire thing there's going to be skill issues. You should know that. This is my stream. It's constant skill issues. No, we left them... Sorry, we had them when we travelled to the Thieves Guild. And then... we met the dog outside, I walked through the door and they were both gone. And when I went back outside, the dog's still there. That's it. So, like... the fuck. Hey, excuse me, don't you fucking move when I'm trying to shoot you. You know how shit of a shot I am anyway? You're just being rude. Oh, you little cheeky bitch. Rude. I'm staying still for some of yours. Fucking Mule. Ah! Just got you with that one. However, I am going to die. Right. I remembered this time. And you have this up on a TV? Oh. Jeez. Terrible idea, really. Yes, the book's in there. Where's that person I was, like, attempting to hack and slash on? Companion died of hoarder's curse over full pockets. Well, that's the thing. I don't know whether she was actually carrying anything outside of just the gear she had on. Where the fuck is this dude gone? Hello? I'm sure I was stabbing him somewhere over here. Ha! Just want my arrow back, really. Hello. Thank you. Right, so. Yeah. Oh, didn't touch. Get in. That's okay. Don't you worry about that. That is okay. Alright, where's this second book?
Huh? What is it?
I had cleared here. Really?
Go, my attack!
That's in the back of his head. You saw that, right? That went in the back of his head. Oh, why's always gotta be spiders? There's no need. No need. That one. I mean, I suppose plus side of this having everybody in it again is I get to rob them again. Or borrow for a prolonged period of time. Nope. Nope. I'll take those. I'll take those. Oh, firewood. I can't remember who was in here. Like the big boss kind of person. Are the vampires even alive? Oh god, it's completely reset. Really? That is some kind of bullshit. I didn't want the bowl. Don't even get my arrow. Hello. I killed them all last time. You don't really get anything good off them. We're here for the book. So I'm assuming we're going to have to do the rest of this game without a companion. Unless she's just going to miraculously appear. Ooh. Oh, wait. I didn't mean to press that. Go back in. Thank you. Can't remember if there's spiders or not. Like how they were feeding that one. Oh, of course you're too far away from the vase. Damn it. Oh yeah. Oh, I don't even get my arrows back? It sucks. That'll do it.
What was that?
Nothing. Ooh. Stuff familiar. Get it. Ooh. Ooh. I genuinely thought there was some kind of worm coming out of that bowl there. No. I want that. Oh, shush. Oh. Healing. Now, I'm pretty sure if the fella down here spots us, he lets out the wolves.
Please let me out of here.
Oh, yeah.
You have to let me out. You do something awful to me. There's a lever right there in the center. Hurry, before more of them show up.
least got my arrow back. So many crystals. I was going to say, if that opened any other door but his, I would have been well miffed.
Oh, you've saved me. Thank you so much. Who knows what they'd have done to me if you hadn't come along. I promise I'll help you get out of here.
Okay.
The books? Oh, I see. I thought perhaps... Well, I thought you'd come for me. But yes, the books. The caller will have them. She was most interested in one of the volumes, although not interested enough to keep me from being locked up. Don't you need my help?
Yes.
I shall do my best.
Because my other helper is vanished. Requires key. Okay, did I not find a key? Fuck. Hi. Oh, I got someone. See me now. Well played, sir. Well played. Yeah, I'll make the volume slightly louder. Still says first stream. Did you see my message about the tiles? I did see it, but hang on. I'll change it now, but I was gonna leave it until the VOD because I get frame drops. There you go. Happy? Nope. Ooh. That sounded like one of the wolves there. Ooh. Excuse me. Right. Whoa, what are you doing? Wasting an arrow.
Be careful.
Of who? Not like I shot you. Stupid ass. Jeez. Oh, that one's already dead. Of clipness. Just responding to a kick message, sorry. Okie dokie. Shall we? Ooh.
The undercroft is ahead. Necromancers. Be careful.
Mm-hmm. You bastard. Oh! Thought he ducked out the way and then I saw his head pop off. Still closed. Bone meal. Still closed. Aha! I was gonna say one of these has a crystal in. Because every time I try to get it, I miss. Oh, look at them! They're lined up nicely. Oh no, empty. Should have read that first. How to raise a zombie. With love and care. And some brains. Haha. Ooh. Right, if I remember correctly, this battle is a bitch. I appreciate you. I did not want to do that. Have your basket back. I'm not trying to equip the basket. I'm trying to do... Something very weird is going on with this game. I'm not appreciating it. I know for a fact I've got a feckin' bowl in here as well. Well, I don't need either of those. All that. See? 5. 5! I assure you it was stolen by accident. Don't judge me. Ooh!
Mercy.
No. Okay, slight mercy because I missed.
My God! Okay, it's happening.
Oh.
Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm. Wait. Everybody, calm down.
Hi, Zelda, and hi, Raiders. Welcome in. Oh my goodness. Hang on. I do buttons. I do buttons. I don't do buttons very well, as you can tell. Hi, Sadie. I don't have a raid message. That's okay. Mine literally just says something panda raid. So, yeah. But hello, thank you for the raid. How are you doing? How's it going? Welcome in, everyone. I am Panda Pop. We generally normally play RPGs and such. We have social Saturdays where we'll play anything though. But I am on an Elden Ring. No, that's twice I've called this Elden Ring. Elder Scrolls Cake. And this is my first playthrough of this. Oop, 18 plus. Yeah, because I swear a lot.
Hello, motherfucker.
Thank you for the follow. Hi, Raven. Bye, Raven. Without. Oh. You playing Pokemon? Very nice. I like it. Yeah, we're playing Skyrim without mods. I'm on a PlayStation. I know you can probably get mods for the PlayStation, but I'm not that advanced. But this is my first playthrough, so it is a vanilla playthrough. I've lost my companion. She's just glitched and vanished. And I can't get another companion because I technically have a companion. So we're now doing everything solo, whether we like it or not. You can get mods, just not good mods. I figured. But I didn't even bother looking because I was just like, you know what, it's fine. I'll see how it is like now. You know, it's cool. It's fine. So yes, we normally do a bit of a variety, but I am literally on this right now. Tomorrow it is open to viewers' choice, I suppose, with it being social Saturdays. But that's something that I'll put up in the Discord and we'll find out who wants to play what and so on and so forth. If you do fancy Discord look or anything like that, we can I'll put my keyboard back down because I'm dead smart. Ta-da. But without further ado, though, I have made Whiterun pretty with them still. Oh. Now see if they're mods for things like that, I am 100% down for it. 100%. Reminds me of how much I miss Panda Pops. I know. It's like cracking a bottle. It probably was cracking a bottle. Right. But shall we get back to my mediocre gaming? Yeah. Oh, I should probably also mention, do not expect good gameplay. I have the aim of Stevie Wonder. Okay? Yeah. But welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid. How was stream? How was Pokemon? Top tier commentary. Oh, thank you so much. How was the game? Oh, if anyone needs to raid and run or go get a drink or go stretch your legs, anything like that, totally understand. Streaming and watching can take it out of you. I know. That was a perfect example of what you have to expect. Ooh. I forgot we were in the middle of shooting people.
Where are you?
I am a wood elf. We are on a stealth build, stealth archer build. I am a loot whore. Hence the name of the character. Our character is called Pandora Loots a Lot. There you go. Pandora Loots a Lot. I need to grab a drink, so I'll be lurking for a bit. Not a problem. Thank you very much for the raid and for sticking around if you do. If you need to do what you need to do. That was a lot of do's in one sentence. But we're gonna go with it. It's fine. You got this, buddy? Good job. Happy to hang out a bit again. And I'm happy to have you here, my dear. There may be occasions where I say things that don't sound English, that's just because I've got an accent. If I need to repeat it, by all means, there is no. I was going to try closed caption. I think I do still have the option of closed caption on here. If you can put it on, I would, because it is funny. It does not understand me at all. It's great. Can you imagine if I had a Scottish accent? Oh my goodness. Nope, that's a wall. Hello? Anything to steal? No? Okay. Room service. So 99% of the time. Yeah, pretty much. You understand me. Mostly. I mean, to be fair, there's times I don't even understand myself. Hello? Oh, hello. Oop. Be careful. Of what? Boop. How funny would it have been if it let go there? Oh, well done on the first! Been hiding in here the entire time. I keep forgetting they're a thing, you know. No. I like it. Era's just in there like, yep, mine. I've been here. Oh, fuck, I'm getting one basket. And that's why I put 18 plus. Because I swear. And the conversations can get quite inappropriate. Where'd the... Fucking baskets. I'm only in here for a book. Oh. Bless you, I think. You heard that right. Nope. 18 plus because you censor yourself. Not always. It's not always me that needs censoring. Oh no! My friend thing died. I missed every shot. There you go. You will also discover error. I don't make a lot of sense most of the time. It's a skill. You okay there, buddy? Oh. He did. I will sell your stuff. You did well. Kind of. You were a good magic sponge. Because he wasn't really a bullet sponge, was he? They don't use... Stop picking up balls! My God! I feel the finger being pointed. I'll have you know I speak perfect fucking English. No, that's not why the finger gets pointed. You're a Twitch streamer. It's a requirement. Fair. Do you know what? Anyone that ever... Not that I've ever had anyone complain yet. Well, I've had one person complain that I swore. They were swiftly told to fuck off. But... politely. Obviously. But no, we're not on about necessarily your perfect English speaking. It's mainly like the vulgarity that some of the conversation can go, do you know what I mean? How dare you stream your... Oh, I know. The audacity. You know what I mean? How dare I pick up another motherfucking thing? That's what happens when I don't pay really close attention, which I never do because I've got a spicy brain. Closed caption on this is chef's kiss. I told you. What's it said? I've said now. That makes sense. Oh. I'll have one of them and all. If it gets too much, I can switch to proper English. If I must. I'd rather not though. If I'm honest. Spicy brain. Spicy as a snail. I do not catch your drift. I am very... Like, I'm quite literal-minded because of, tisms. So I'm like, a snail spicy? That was legitimately my first thought. A snail spicy? I've never had a snail before. Maybe they are spicy. I'm trying to work it out too. There you go. 2 tism people going, hmm? Bone meal. No. Huh? I see, I see. Compare brain to a snail. And what could you assume about the brain? That it's slimy. And it doesn't like salt. Ironically, the answer be slow. I mean, I figured that was probably the answer, but let's be honest. Slimy is funny. And the idea of having a literal, like, spiced brain. Fuck. You can have your clothes back. There you go. You're an old hairy chesty man. Slimy is true to be fair. Well, yeah, it is. Salt. I will take the salt. Slimy makes me think. What brain sat in though? I don't want to. Your brain fluids. Excuse me, that was a terrible time, early bird. Your brain fluids. Hello. Here's another thing to make you buffer. The brain named itself, it did. I knew there was one. I know you're just enjoying yourself, pet, but I missed anyway, you're fine. Really? Nice. Your brain is a traveling in a meat puppet. Wow, you special. Oh, excuse me. One of the ones I like is that your... Is it your... No, it's not your brain. Something in your body doesn't register your eyes, because if it did, your white blood cells would try and destroy your eyeballs. Alright, bedtime. Have a good night, have a fun stream. Thank you. I hope you sleep well. Thank you for popping in. Your immune system. That's the one. Normally I'm a little bit less dumb. Normally, sometimes, maybe. Your nose, yes, my nose. Your brain is a Gundam pilot. I like that. You too when you go to sleep. I will do my bestest. I promise nothing, though. I'm not the best at the whole sleep thing. No, it is your brain. Ignores your nose being there. There's no, yeah, that as well. I got a big day tomorrow, so hoping I can sleep here. Fingers crossed, both of us. I was answering myself there. That's what I'm saying. Only works if you don't have good. I have perfect profiterole vision. Thank you very much. I don't. What do you? What do you do? Oh, listen. Increases magic by 25. Oh, well, that's not the best, like, but never mind. That's okay. Do you know what? Fine. I'll take the fucking plate. I mean, technically, if you want to make yourself feel better, crazy people don't know they're crazy. They think they're getting saner. I definitely do not think I'm getting saner. So obviously, if I think I'm getting crazy, then I'm not crazy. It's the best way to look at it. That is my argument, and I am sticking with it. Use the plate to phase through walls. You can... What? You can use the plate to phase through walls? Fuck off! Ooh, that's pretty cool. I'd probably do it wrong and like end up picking up the wall or something because, you know, it's my luck, but that is cool. It'd be nicer if it glitched my fucking companion back so I didn't like die. Oh, it lands you under the world door. Oh, maybe not do that then. Hold it at face level and run at a wall. You can do it in the start of the game. Oh. That is cool. I'm not going to do it because I just know I'll do it wrong and I'll die or something. But that is cool. So I don't have a companion. I don't know karate. I'm not. No, it's fine. I much prefer using a bucket. Yeah, you strike me as someone that would prefer using a bucket. I didn't give you an ad warning. I'm sorry. I've just seen it there. Should I wait until people get back? We should wait. We should wait. We'll be polite. We'll be polite. How's everyone's evening going? That can still hear. And have you got plans for your weekend at all? I have such an itchy nose. My goodness, I wish my brain would ignore my nose right now. God damn. Worst you can do is get lost, I guess. If you're really unlucky, the plate can twitch and hit you, doing damage. That would probably happen to me too, yeah. I may go buy some manga or an MTG deck. Ooh, what manga would you get? Excuse me. One of our friends, Mr. Maxwell's big on manga. He's got a lot of manga. Excuse me. Itchy nose. Again. We're nearly at the end of the ad break. I just want everyone to witness me die. You know what I mean? Witness me. For I shall perish. I can use golden arrows. Yep. I've got more marks than Isaac Newton had. That is fair. So what's your favourite then? What would be your favourite? Like, if you were to have to suggest one to anyone, what would your suggestion be? Welcome back from the ads, anyone that had them. I apologise for not letting you know. I kind of missed it. But we waited. Actually, do you know what? I'm putting fire breath back on. So you can watch me die. If it's too tricky to pick one, pick like 3 that you'd recommend.
So you're the one who barged into my home and laid waste to my projects?
Yes.
How nice to meet you.
Well, hi.
So you're just one of Arin's lackeys. That's disappointing. You show real promise. You come here, kill my assistants, disrupt my work. You've annoyed me, so I don't think I'll be giving you anything.
There's no one size fits all. I mean, that's fair.
I'm afraid you don't have anything worth trading.
Your life.
Now, you can go back to your college and leave me be, or I can kill you. Your choice. Oh, now we're all please and thank you, are we? I'm afraid we're well beyond pleasantries.
Fine, I'll just try
I'll
and shoot
allow
you.
you the opportunity to turn around, walk out that door, and never come back. I suggest you move quickly.
Nope.
Are you attempting to threaten me after I've been so hospitable? Well, then you won't be leaving here at all.
I will eventually.
Never should have come here.
Ooh, maybe not, maybe not, maybe not. Give me the book. Give me a health potion. I've got fire breathing, but they're not. No, that's not good. If you want a messed up action, Dead Man Wonderland. I'm sure I've watched that. If you want a romance, I'd say My Dress Up Doll. If you want a romance with fantasy, Ancient Magus Bride. I've got that on my to watch list on Crunchyroll. I'm assuming it's rather good. I just healed, bitch. Jesus. And this is why I like to have people in with me. Oh, fuck. See, I knew that was going to happen. Ooh, watch it. And promptly forget there's season 2. What? And promptly forget that season 2 is it? Death Note. Yes, I've heard a lot of good things about Death Note. This is why I like an additional person so they can die for me. My goodness. Right, no point in sneaking because she sees us straight away. Let's have a look. Did I just charge that up with a massive crystal? Probably. Yes, I did. Oops. Okay. We'll try this then. Dead Man Wonderland is seriously messed up though. Sadly, the anime doesn't even get there. That doesn't surprise us. It was,
So
if I remember
you're the
correctly,
one
it was a
who
messed
barged
up
into
anime.
my home and laid waste to my projects. How nice to meet you. Names no longer matter. You may refer to me as the Caller. Now, do you have a reason for making such a mess? So you're just one of our... You come
gonna
here,
skip
kill
these.
my assistants, Are you attempt... Well, then you won't be leaving here at all. You're dead.
Whoop, 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 whoop. I don't have a... Oh, resist fire. Woohoo! What about this? The mum of the main character is the reason everything happened. How it did. Now that's some messed up stuff. Oh.
That's the best you can do!
Did I have any more health? Yes. I'm trying. You get to find out how much of a terrible person his mom is. Oh, fantastic. Where is she now? There. You snooty bitch. Bugger. Yay! Wick-de-wee! It's a good thing I kept my cool, right? With my pointy sticks. It probably would be easier if I fucking fought her like that, to be fair. I would have saw where she was going. Thank you. 1 second. As cool as a volcano, yeah. A dormant one that's been nice and chill. I'm glad we agree. I got the books. Let's go. I didn't read the empty bit. Nope. Oh. bone meal, bit of garlic. Have you played it before? Nope, not at all. This is my first playthrough. I know I had it well. Ooh. I also know I'm very late to the party. I think there's a lot on this I'm gonna find out and be like, oh my god. That was a really good title. Oh, woo! Yawn. Oh, dearie me, right. Oh, our fallen naked comrade. Alright, we got the books. I keep pressing that button for map and it's not. Can you tell I play multiple games? So I end up mixing the buttons up. All the time. All the time. Ooh, dropping.
You've been a worthy patron. Shall I join you once more, free of charge?
You cheeky fuck. She's been dotting about here this entire time. Free of fucking charge.
My blade is yours once more.
You cheeky
We're one of the same kind, you and I.
I've just had to fight some bitch by myself because you fucked off, yeah. Oh, yeah. I would have laughed so much if you walked the other. I wouldn't have even been surprised if I walked the other way and fell off a broken bit of bridge. You
If that is what you wish.
The nerve. Why you not got your spiked helmet on for? The nerve of this bitch. Here. I'll take these. You take them. No, I don't want them. She can have them. And then you're gonna fucking set yourself on fire because you're a dickhead. Oh, now you put your stuff back on. Okay. The nerve. I should probably leave her with an arrow. Ah, so that's a slight bug that happens. Just take the helmet back, then give it back, and she should equip them again. That's how that works. I thought, given the age of this game, that it wouldn't be as buggy. Obviously, I'm well aware that was a very silly thought. But, yeah, you'd think they would have fixed some of the bugs by now. Remember that. The cheek of you. I looked everywhere.
Let's go.
She's just waltzing around Hogwarts.
I think the college is due for a change in leadership. It's lies. All of it. I don't care what she told you. It's all lies.
We need one arrow and they'll turn into infinite. Infinite? Into infinite. Infinite. I thought so. I might give her a gold arrow then. We had a bit of a drop there. There's also the unofficial bug fix. Oh. Does it work?
Feralda, don't act like she didn't say anything. I know her, and I know what she's been up to.
Oh. You do? Do you want to share?
My problem with her? She's the one who has a problem with me.
Oh.
She's threatened by me, by my skill as a wizard, by my elegance and posture, by my superior good looks. But she is not going to get the better of me. Oh no, I won't let it get to me one bit. That's
No,
what
clearly.
she's after. She's trying to undermine my confidence, make me doubt myself. Well, it won't work, I tell you.
I can't imagine it working for a second.
Don't trust that one. He's up to something.
I at least agree with you.
Most here are up to something, of course, but in his case, it's not good. I haven't figured it out yet, but I will.
So humble.
He is rather handsome, though, isn't he?
No. Okay, good talk. Not everything, but a lot of things. I may have to look that up.
What the?
What have I done now? Still not happy with you. Oh, library.
I don't want to see you treating any of these books poorly. Hundreds of years have gone. Well, well, and you seem to be in one piece. Thank you. I'll look these over and inform Mirabelle if I find anything relevant. Night of Tears, eh? I remember this one. Well, isn't that interesting?
Oh, I should have read them
yourself?
before I gave them back.
If I recall it correctly, that has some interesting implications. You should mention that to Toldir. And here, I suppose you've earned.
Wait, damn it. Oh, I should have read them. The amount of times he said that. I turned around and he's whacked a book. Yeah, I know. Oh, he's gave me books that'll help. Okay. Thanks. Read. Oh, apparently I've read that one. Thank you. Thank you. Ah, journal. My bad. Already known. Already known. Ah. Nope. Nope. Thanks. What's these?
You need a book? You talk
No,
to me.
I'm good.
Otherwise, you're going to
yes.
find yourself in a lot of pain.
Damn. Calm yourself. Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase.
It's always encouraging to see the younger generations embracing education.
Yes. Books become a little less interesting when you realise any book less than 50 gold is just lore. And entertainment, while anything above, is a skill book. Oh!
Did he know? Does he have information about our wonderful
So much
discovery?
handy information.
Is that the one about something buried beneath Sarthal?
No idea.
Something that men and Mare fought over?
No idea.
I'll have to make a point of rereading it.
You do that.
I don't recall the details.
Same.
I just can't seem to tear myself away. Whatever this is, its beauty is like nothing I've ever seen before. If you'd allow me to indulge
Well, apparently I
myself for
can't
a
even look at
moment,
it, so...
I thought I might make a few observations. I'm sure
Okay.
you've already noticed the markings. They're quite unlike anything we've seen before. Aliad, Gwemmer, Daedric, not even Falmer. None of them are a match. Quite curious indeed. Now, I'm not sure that you're quite as attuned
Xenomorph.
as I am, given my extensive years of experience, but can you feel that? This marvelous object, it practically radiates magicka. And yet it's unlike anything I've felt before. Archmage Aaron is already hard at work, and hopefully we'll have more information soon.
He looks like something off Star Trek.
I'm afraid I must
No,
intrude. It is urgent that I speak with your associate immediately.
This is most inappropriate. We are involved in serious research here.
Yes, I've no doubt of its gravity. This, however, is a matter that cannot wait.
Well, I'm quite sure I've never been interrupted like this before. The audacity. I suppose we'll continue this at some
Don't worry,
later
his
time,
father will hear
when
about
we
this.
can avoid interruptions.
I need you to come with me immediately. Let's go.
Okay.
Really? Well, allow me to clarify the situation. I'd like to know why there's someone claiming to be from the Psijic Order here in the college. More importantly, I'd like to know why he's asking for you specifically.
My dazzling
So we're going to
personality.
go have a little chat with him and find out exactly what it is he wants.
He's even got the hairline. He's even got a Malfoy hairline.
I'll be the one asking the questions. All you need to know is that the Psijic Order is a rogue organization, believing themselves to be above the law. They have clashed with the Old Mary Dominion before, and I have no intention of allowing that to happen here.
But they have clashed with you because you're a prick. Oh, you began with the walking again. I feel like I need an elevator music button for when
Now,
we're walking behind
you are
people
going to
like
speak
this, and
to
it was
this
like
monk and find out why he is here, and then he will be removed from college grounds.
Oh.
Please do not be alarmed. I mean you no harm. It is good to meet you in person.
More likely need a mod to give all NPCs a speed boost, right? I mean, there probably is one of them you can get, and that would be fabulous.
I'd simply like to talk to you. I've given us a chance to speak privately. But I'm afraid I can't do this for long. We must be brief. The situation here at your college is of dire importance, and attempts to contact you, as we have previously, have failed. I believe it is due to the very source of our concern. This object, the Eye of Magnus, as your people have taken to calling it. The energy coming from it has prevented us from reaching you with the visions you have already seen. The longer it remains here, the more dangerous the situation becomes. And so I have come here personally to tell you it must be dealt with. You set this chain of events in motion at Sarthal.
I'm quite
You
enjoying
must
it, yeah.
understand the Psijic Order does not typically intervene directly
It's a lot
in events. My presence here will be seen as an affront
well, it's a
to
lot
some
more
within the
intense
Order.
at times than I thought it would be.
As soon as we have finished,
It's a lot less
I will
like
be
hold your
leaving
hand through it.
college. I'm all too aware that my arrival
It's not
has
quite
aroused
Elden Ring
suspicion,
level though, so we're
especially
okay.
in Oncano, your Thalmor associate.
it is
Nevertheless, my
good.
order will not act
I can tell it is a
You
like
must
I
take
knew
it
it was a
upon
massive
yourself
game
to
anyway,
do
but
so.
I can like you can tell it is a massive game.
As you may have learned, this object, the Eye, is immensely powerful. The world is not ready for it, If it remains here, it will be misused. Indeed, many in the Order believe it has already. Rather, something will happen soon, something that cannot be avoided. We believe that your efforts should be directed towards dealing with the aftermath, but we cannot predict what that will be. I fear I have already overstepped the bounds of my order, but I will offer this. Seek out the Augur of Dunlane here in your college. His perception may be more coherent than ours.
I mean, I wouldn't say there's levels to so many volumes. It's 13 volumes, really? Wow. It does sometimes feel like you need to find your own paths. Yeah. I have an awful habit of being distracted by literally anything and everything, so it takes ages to get through. Yeah. Yeah. If you do continue to follow us on this journey, you will notice that I do that a lot. Very, very Doug from Up. Very like squirrel. And then you just, you fuck off in that direction for a little bit.
I am unsure.
Tokyo Ghoul has 30.
He is somewhere within the college.
I love Tokyo Ghoul.
Surely one of your colleagues must know his location.
No, I've only
sorry
watched
I cannot
it.
provide you with further help.
So I don't know the proper story of Tokyo Ghoul. I know that. I loved season 1. I wasn't that sold.
Now, I'm afraid I must leave you. We will continue to watch over you and guide you as best we can. It is within you to succeed. Never forget that.
I'm sorry. Were you about to say something?
Not to you, evidently. People are so rude in this game. Season 1 wasn't it? I loved season 1.
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I
Did you watch season 3? No, I didn't even realise there was a season 3 out, to be honest. It got
to see a specific
like, I think I only got halfway through season 2 and I just wasn't feeling it.
There's been a misunderstanding. Clearly, I should not be here. I shall simply take my leave.
What? What trickery is this? You're not going anywhere until I find out what you're up to.
I am not up to anything. I apologize if I have offended you in any way.
In that case, I'll aim to hang out when I can. I appreciate you greatly. Thank you very much. I will also hang out when I can. In your streams. Is this the door out? Nope, it's the other one, isn't it? Oh, but it's not any because I don't have anything selected. Go for that one again.
But I assure you, I will get to the bottom of it.
Of course you will, Draco. It's fine. There's season 1, season 2, which they messed up, and then there's a final. I haven't watched the final one yet, then. I've just started watching Solo Leveling. I'm into season 2 of that. Sure? That's good. I like that. That's good. Right. No, that's not the map button. Stop it. Where do we need to go for the one I just highlighted? Ah, yes, this is where we were going before. When we started the entire bloody thing. Solo Leveling's on my list. It's so good. Though since you like season 1, it's likely you won't like the final one. I'll still give it a try. I mean, I watched all of Lost from season 1 to 6. If I can do that, I can watch anything. Sadie and I are on the last episode of Attack on Titan. So I want to finish that one. I can move on to something. Ooh, nice. I never finished Attack on Titan. It's on the list.
Requests.
Excuse me. Did you just proposition me, lady? From the way she just shook her head, I think that lady just propositioned me. Soul 11's from one. Its fan base annoys me. Oh, why? Attack on Titan is good. I never finished it. I had too many going at once. And then I just forgot to go back to it. It certainly sounded like it, didn't it? Dearie me. It's like, excuse me, madam, I am on a mission. I do not have time for your pelvic sorcery. Here we go. Come on. Christ, I'd go downstairs like an elephant. Wow, you are.
You talk to Ed Brothers. Deja has no words for you.
Okay. That, just gonna give you a wide fucking berth. You found your companion? Yeah, yeah.
right?
She was chilling out in fucking Hogwarts. Just chilling. Walked past us when I went in the doorway with our torch up, none of our fucking gear on or nothing, and she was just like, oh, hello, you were fun. I would be your companion again for free if you wished. It's like, you cheeky fucking bint. Hello. What a game, I know. Flippin' cheeky cow. There's me. Getting beat to shit. Oh god, what have I just walked into? Where are you? Who are you? Where are you? What are you? It's a mud crab, isn't it? Oh no, it's not! Run, bitch. Run faster. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Don't you come near me with that on. There it go. Get it! Get it! Yeah! No. Stay away from it. I don't want to be lit on fire. Will you go away? I'm not dancing with you. Jesus. Stop it! Alright, okay. Now I'm talking.
We're one of the same kind, you and I.
Is that just because we're elves?
If that is what you wish.
So Crunchyroll has their own award show in which they have Anime of the Year. Season 1 of Solo Leveling was nominated as well as others much more unique and well made. Now this award show happened while Season 2 was airing or just ended. So Solo Leveling won Anime of the Year because its fan base was too lazy or brain dead to read. So they voted it based on Season 2 and not what it was nominated for. Oh, I see. I've only just started Season 2. It is good, don't get us wrong, it is good. I don't know if I would have voted it Anime of the Year, but then again, I haven't watched any new anime in quite a while. It is good though. I wasn't expecting it to have won Anime of the Year though. Right, so they're 16, so if I just give her one of them, right, they're 15, yeah, okay. Hit them with an elven arrow. I might just give her one of all of them, to be honest. One of all the biggies.
Lead on then.
Oh. If she uses all them scrolls before we fight dead guys, it's like,
Yes. If that is what you wish.
I'll give you them back when we go into a cave.
Lead on then.
So I was kind of late at the party with anime as well. I never started watching anime until I was in my 20s. Which, believe it or not, wasn't that long ago. It was. And my first anime was actually Sword Art Online. I'm too much of a hoarder to ever use scrolls in these games. The only reason I'm using them ones, because it's the same. But the only reason I'm using them ones is because it's part of the quest, and I don't want to use them because I'll die. But, like, I don't mind if she uses them. my god, typos. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Words are hard. But now the problem is season 2 will likely be this year's nomination and will win again. So because of fantasy, it would have won twice the same season, which seems unfair. With it getting season 3, it's likely that they'll vote for season 3 when it's season 2 that's nominated. Yeah, I get you, yeah. I mean, you never know. Season 3 might be shit. I kind of doubt it, but could be. Whee! Excuse me. Sword Art was my first one too. I think actually first Blue Exorcist. Oh, Blue Exorcist. I fucking love Blue Exorcist. I mean, there is a chance that, because it's not exactly not been known to happen, is it? You'll have like 2 absolutely amazing seasons or 1 absolutely amazing season, and then the next one that comes out, you're like, the fuck is this drivel? It happens. Pokemon was my first, if you count that. I mean, technically, if you're gonna count that, yeah, Pokemon and Sailor Moon were my first ones. If you want to actually go even earlier than that, we used to have VHS tapes of fairy tales, but they were anime. So I used to watch Little Red Riding Hood and the 3 Little Pigs and stuff. Full anime. Hello. Hey, come back. Come back. But if you don't count ones like that, then Demon Wonderland was my first. Dead Man Wonderland. Dragon Ball would be my first again. I never watched Dragon Ball, you know. I know that may have got a slight rude out of people, but no, I never watched Dragon Ball. Well, you just thank you. Jesus. Alright, we've got that thing. Ooh, hello.
Nordic ruins. Old. Secretive.
Probably full of dead things, so you're going to get the scrolls back in a minute. Yep.
Yes, Sarah? If that is what you wish.
It is. I only watched it because that was my dad. It's what my dad's would put on the TV. Oh, that is fair. Dragon Ball's fun though, depending on what kind of show you want to watch. Maybe you see Dragon Ball, so skip it to see. I just never got round to it. And then because I didn't get into like watching animes and stuff until I was older, it's not came back up yet.
Lead on then.
Oh, see, I missed them. And you can go and set them off. Why do I even try? Are you dead? Well, you're dead. Really, an arrow set that off? Are you serious? Oh, I got an itchy eyeball. Since Dragon Ball is more comedic and Zed is more action focused. Oh, okay. Did not mean to do that. Oh, it needs charging again, okay. Oh. Excuse me. This is what happens when you've got multiple cats in a house. You occasionally, like, feel like you've got things in your eye. And it's lovely. What am I looking for? Weapons. Cat hair in there. Oh, Do you know what one gets me? I've got a septum piercing. You probably can't see because I'm small on the camera, but I've got my septum pierced. And when you get one on your oh my god. How old are the kitties? So there's 3 in total. My eldest is 14. Then my housemate is 9. And our baby, Griffin, the little ginger bastard, I love him so much, he is 1. And then we have Bella, somewhere, who is a little cockapoo. She's asleep under the desk. Griffin sometimes comes and tries to get camera time. We're going to get him his own little emotes. I may get a Bella emote too, because she also likes camera time. Dragon Ball was inspired by Journey to the West, so it was always meant to be comedic. Oh, okay. Oh, I'll have to look up. Can you watch Journey to the West anywhere, or was that a manga thing, or small in the camera, or small in real life? Both. Both. I've got one of them tiny, weeny little septum rings, so it doesn't look like a bull ring. You can just see it. I did have the bull ring one though. I was victim to the oversized piercing. Quite the range, yeah. Well, my oldest one, the one that's 13, I had her mother as well, but she passed a few years ago now. Well, about 3 years ago, I'd say. But I got them tattooed. You can't see that at all. I've got them tattooed. You can see it on my Discord. If you have Discord and you fancy joining a Discord. We have a tattoo section. Good luck watching that. Since, you know, oh! Never mind then. Right, don't step on that. I can see you going to step on it. Look at it, look at it. Fuck you, I ain't going to die. Yeah. Well, serves you right. You heard me warn her. I told her. I've got to get the dog tattooed on us yet, and Griffin. But with Griffin, that's the little ginger Tom we've got. I say little, he's massive. He has the markings on the head, so what I'm going to do is, where he's got the markings here, get them outlined and then just whack them on the arm underneath where these two are. So which way am I going to turn me off? Them two. Well, you can see Gizzy there, if I turn my arm like that. Potentially. But I'm going to get that there. Ginger cats are always massive. They are, aren't they? But I love them. He hasn't had his turn with the brain cell yet, though. They're being a bit stingy, if I'm honest. That's okay, I still love him, but he hasn't had his turn with the brain cell. I just checked out your pics on Discord. Thanks! I'm itching to get another tattoo. Oh, same. Same. So I've got the one on my thigh, needs finishing. This arm needs adding to. Well, actually the top of this arm's where me Buddha is, and that's going to be a full sleeve. So I need to get that done. We're having a conversation, don't you? Me. So many ideas. If I win the lottery, you'll know. Because I'll just suddenly turn up on the stream and be like caked in tattoos and covered in fucking Bepanthem. Ginger cats never get their turn with the brain cell. They sometimes do. There's one brain cell to go around them all though, so it takes a minute. We had our orange boy for almost 4 years now. And he's not always the brightest either. It's endearing though, isn't it? Like, he is a little prick. But I love him so much. He is so sassy as well. I have raised a brat. 100% brat. And I'm okay with that. Because, a spoiled cat isn't going to try and kick off with someone in the middle of the street. Well, okay, that's a lie. If I let him out, he might. And what we got? What do we got? Snake, whale. Snake. Whale. Excuse me. Bird. Snake. Bird. Snake. Exactly. Kitties are very spoiled. Can't help it. They're like my children. As sad as that sounds. That does not sound sad at all because same. 100% no. Anytime my mom's like, when am I gonna have some grandkids or something, I'll be like, you got 3. Jeez. I need an ivory claw. Oh, fuck you. Do you have an ivory claw? No. Jesus! Oh, yeah, I should have. Oh, no. I still remember the time I managed to sneak up my auntie's cat. What? I managed to sneak up on my auntie's cat, making her jump and fall off a scratch post, so almost bring the cat. My mum's given up on all that. Now refers to cats as grandchildren. Oh, my mum still my mum refers to the animals as a grandkid. She literally, because she'll look after me dog for us. Because she can't be left in the house by herself. Because when I got her not long before I had my accident. And then since having my accident, because I'm now crippled, she never leaves me side. So she's got quite bad separation anxiety. So if I go anywhere for a prolonged period of time, I've got to basically get our dog sat. And my mum will literally be like, are you coming to Nana's? And she responds. She responds to Nana. Mental. She still doesn't give up though. One of my favourite things I used to do with a little, I say a little ginger tom again, like we've established, they're never little. With the old ginger tom we had was, you know, you wait until they walk past and then you just, with your foot, just a little bit, and they jump up on all fours. I used to absolutely, I would wet myself laughing at that. Not literally wet myself. Maybe. That's what I was waiting for. Oh yeah. It's all coming together. Excuse me. Thank you.
Hello, motherfucker.
Hello. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Stealth Archer really just does make this game a KO. Yeah. I was literally just thinking there. I was like, I fucking love this build. Until I get seen. Oh. Wait until you get the Thalma Embassy, unless you've already been there. I don't think I've been there. It's not ringing a bell. I'm assuming it's going to be fun times, all right? Fun times. Oh, great. Now that's a med. Oh, dear. Yo, cheeky bugger. Come on, pet. You're welcome.
Hello?
Oh. Huh? That is really stuck in there. Oh, it will. Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what the best part is? For at least the last month, maybe month and a half, that song finds its way into my head every day. Every day. Do you know what else has been stuck in my head? So now it potentially will get stuck in other people's heads too. The Jet 2 holiday thing. Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. Fuck off. And now you have it. You're welcome.
I see you.
You set me on fire. Again. Oh my, like every other video I see is Jet 2. Yeah, jokes on you, things like that don't get stuck in my head. Oh, well, that must be nice. Oh, I forgot we roly-polied. Oh, I didn't want that. Take it back. Take it back now, y'all. I didn't want that either. Reverse. It's very nice. You're right though, every other video at the minute is something about Jet 2 holidays. Which is why it's stuck in my head.
Excuse me, pardon me, coming through. Thanks.
Will you stop setting me on fire? Oh! Morning. I know it's dead, it's not wearing armor. It's a waste of an arrow. Oh. Oh. That was, Sneaky bitch. What I thought. There's going to be an ad starting in 3 minutes for anyone that gets ads. I nearly didn't speak properly there. Wow. Really? Crikey. My English is so good. Right, if I remember correctly, this is a dick. Right. How about... Okay, not you. You? Not you. Okay. Then you? Nope. Then you. Then you. Fuck yeah. Don't touch. Don't fucking cough at me either, that's rude. COVID lady. There was nothing else but... Because I know I should... See? I knew you were going to do that. Ads will be in 1 minute 30. They look pretty dead. Ooh. Sorry. Moving on. How could you do this to us? What did I do? What did I do? If it helps, I completely didn't mean to. It's just a skill. See, now my brain's merged the two together. The ads. I'm joking, I don't care. Well, I mean, if you get Prime, you could solve that problem. Not with actual money though, just do it with Bezos money. I promise I'll not, like, do anything interesting while the ads are on. But yeah, now my brain is merged.
Money don't
Jet 2
jiggle,
holidays.
jiggle.
And
Oh, I'd like to see you
oh!
wiggle, wiggle, for sure.
What are you doing? Stop it. But welcome in though. I don't buy enough from Amazon to make it worth it. Oh, that is fair. That is fair. Welcome in, bearded dad. How you doing?
Money don't jiggle, jiggle. It folds. I'd like to see you
Stop
wiggle,
it.
wiggle, for sure.
Ha, I appreciate you, but behave yourself. You do not need to seek revenge, if that's what this is.
Money don't jiggle, jiggle. It folds. I'd like to see you wiggle, wiggle, for
Oh,
sure.
sorry. I've gone to say that like a few times now, haven't I? My brain has merged the Jet 2 holiday thing and that Hard Times song. So it's like, Hard Times, nothing beats the Jet 2 holiday. It's like ADHD at its finest. Hello, Mr. Bearded. Did that work? It's not amazing at all. I will do that shouty after the adverts. But how you doing? How's it going? Ads now. Yep. Hello. All I heard was, it's not amazing. That's all you needed to hear. I'm good. Brain's broken, but I'm good. How was stream? Brain's broken. Oh, bless you, Petal. Did they bombard you again? Were you bombarded? Still in ads. Not a problem. Back from ads now. Yay! Ad said it's, well, basically what you heard. Yeah. Except it was at all. One person increased the timer by 24 hours. Wow. Was that what's his name? Crippled bipolar or something? Yeah, I thought. I mean, hey, it works in your favor. Bipolar cripple, that's the one. I knew it was somewhat. There was bipolar and crippledness in there. What a username! I know. I know. I thought the exact same thing. What are you doing now? That shouldn't have hit, but okay. It's almost as good as COD names. Some of the names you get on that game are beautiful. I've been killed by an Anflank. I loved that. I'm gonna hunt him down and hug him. I mean, hey, crippled bipolar would be just as funny. It would. It would. What was the other one? Finding Chemo. That was funny. Some of the names on are just beautiful on that game. On Final Fantasy XIV, one of my favourites I found was Bilbo Swaggins and Harry Potter, and they got the minion of a white barn owl, and they dressed themselves to look like Harry Potter, and it was Harry Potter and Bilbo Swaggins. Loved it. The creativity of nerds is just fucking beautiful, honestly. Oh. Oh, got his elbow. Woo! Oh my god! Don't just do that. Kill him, you stupid git. Don't. No. Now, come on now. We're friends. Give me love. Am I on fire again? She's already set me on fire. Accidentally snipe your own fault. Do you know how many times I've actually done that? So many. So many times. Sven, before he was killed by a dragon, was killed by me at least 6 times. No problem. Happens way more often than it should. Stamina. Let's have a excuse me. Oh, that's alchemy. I'm like, hang on a minute, archery should be higher than that. It is. It is. Shame. To be fair, right? I warned him. Move faster with the bow drawn. Twice as many. Right, hang on. So we've got ranger. We did up crit last time. Or we can make our bow stronger. What was the other one we could do? Let's just make us stealthy a minute. Also, you got Sven, and we're found the elf of the same quest line. I got Sven on this one. On the other playthrough I have that archer dude, because someone was kind enough to tell me about the glitch that you can do. Night! Love you! How often do you move with your bow drawn? I'd say that one. Yeah, with how often you move. Yeah, I was thinking that myself, to be honest. What's this again? Oh, Sven. Yes, because someone was kind enough to tell us about the glitch you get, where if you have him as a follower, you can get him to train you as Rain in archery, and then get your gold back off him because he's your companion. So I did that on the other playthrough. Lady, back. You're on fire, damn it. Nice little exploit. Yeah, I didn't know about that until someone mentioned it. And I was like, oh my god. Oh, hang on. Stop rates. Because we've only got half an hour left of stream time, so I stop raids. Stop getting myself set on fucking fire. Also, that works with anyone that can train you. Ooh! Lady, I swear. And be a follower at the same time. Yeah. Can I take that? Yes.
Money don't jiggle.
It folds. I like to see wiggle for sure. Thank you. But stop it. Just because you got fucking
My money
bummed
don't
with biddies
jiggle.
doesn't mean I need to
Balls to like
pay.
to see you wiggle wiggle, for sure.
I appreciate you, but behave yourself. God damn. Oh, I was meant to. There was shit.
You are watching a master at work.
Thank you. I know, right? Right, snake. Whale. Bird. Yeah, I knew it was gonna be a bird. Ducks! Ducks! That one has been used at so many, like, really well-timed. Okay, good times, right, so. Snake. I know this could be the other way around, but we'll see. I'll either get shot or we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Ta-ra, bitches. Ooh. Oh wow, it does move faster. Mother. Okay, my brain needs to shut down and process. I hope you have a great stream. It's been a lovely catch base. I hope you have a lovely sleep, my dear, and a good chill. And I hope you get rested and there's no ouchies or anything like that. But thank you for popping in and thank you for the biddies. I appreciate you all. Oh, I didn't do your shouty. Oh.
It's about there's 3 islands here. Wow. Oh, you bat. Oh, why would you do that?
Money
Oh
don't
no.
jiggle.
I've got to try that on the
Balls to like
world's
to see you
smallest
wiggle wiggle,
island.
for sure.
Upside down. You bish.
That was unnecessary. Did you make the landing or did you die? Thank you again. I do appreciate it. Stop it. No. No, I did not. In the eyeball. I hope you sleep well. I don't like how that flow moved. Hello? Nope. I saw spiders, man. Oh, is this leg chopped off or is it just bent? I don't even want to inspect it too much. Oh, a plentiful portion. Oh, fuck that. Okay, we're gonna quick save. Quick save. Mm-hmm. Well, this doesn't look like a terrible idea at all. Would you like to go first, dear?
Yes, Sarah? Fine. What? What?
Go over there.
Will do.
And of course nothing's gonna happen. Until I go there. Or until right now. Really? You ducked? Really? Nice! Nope, don't set me on fire. Lady, if you fucking burn me alive, I'm not gonna be impressed. I can take the scrolls off for now, though.
if that is what you wish.
Thank you.
Lead on then.
Oh, thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it. Right, so. I got the wrong one. Go out. Have a look at the ivory thing. Bird, dragon? I think. Yep. Are you ready? Let's go. Oh, this is... Ooh. Make a... This is not going to be fun, I can tell. You ready? I feel like I should give her the scrolls again. Do you know what? I'm gonna.
Yes, if that
I was
is what
premature
you
in
wish.
taking away your fire ability. You can have them back. You're welcome.
Lead on then.
Oh, that looks fun. Okay. Oh, it's this place. At least, I think I know the place. Uh-huh. Oh. Apologies, priority. Right. I'm on down.
Damn, that's quite a sight.
Mm-hmm. That's what she said. Yep. Well, that was anticlimactic. Sorry, pet. Yeah, go fight them. There you go. Woo! Atta girl. Can you stop setting me on fire though? Right, you can. I can take this. Give me the fucking flame.
If that is what you wish.
Yeah, I don't want to burn anymore. Jeepers. Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go. rest of them. I might as well take that one. Oh wait, was that a... absorbs 10? Oh yes. Oh bollocks. Excuse me.
Need something?
Yes. I need you to carry my shit.
If that is what you wish.
It is. Right. Oh. I've got no use for that whatsoever. I mean, okay, there's probably use for it. When did I pick all these up? Person that burns people is the person that allows it. Hmm. That's a good question. Oh, look at you, look at all fetching and shit. Right. Oh, don't need to crouch anymore.
It is strange to think that these chambers were once home to the ancient North.
I know. Ooh. Did all the coffins have someone in? Oh, yeah. Oh, there's a person for a minute there. Well, a thing. I know they're not people. Nope, that one not a dirt. Well, it is empty. It's not a bird. Right. Yeah. A place currently, that's words, used to be owned by ancient ones. Who'd have thunk it? Ooh, I can hear the dragon song thing. Rah. Oh, there you are. What's this one? Frost and frost breath. Oh, I think that's the one that, like, literally freezes them where they stand. Or... increases your stamina. Oh, that might be handy for us. We've got the... I'm sure we're wearing the one that increases your light armor, though, which is pretty good. Nope. Don't mind if I do. Oh. Straight ahead? Yes. Bless you. And now... I mean, to be honest, I'll just go by.
I feel the eyes of angry spirits upon us.
Well, we best leave then. So I triggered something again there. Just myself.
What the?
What now? You say that a lot when there's nothing happening. It makes me very nervous. Okay, so we've quick save. Time to find somebody to read, guys. I know, it's very rude to message, but bear with me. Right, so Rady rates. Let's have a look. So, oh, for those watching on Kick, because you can't raid out, I will say my good night to you, and we will catch you tomorrow. Around the same time. It is community stream night, so we'll see. I don't know if we'll be playing this or if we'll be playing a game with other streamers. We shall find out tomorrow, basically. But thank you for joining me, and I shall see you tomorrow. Good night. As for you lovely chaps and gals, or whatever you are, let's find someone to read. Would we like to stick to words, please? Would we like to stick with Skyrim, or are we open to just going to see someone we already know? If anyone's got suggestions, by all means. So if we go with people that we know, like some of our pals, if you will, we have Grounded. We have Party Animals. Oh, we have Grounded and we have Party Animals. Yeah. So we'll just try someone else. Let's see. Should we just go for another Elden Ringer? Why do I keep calling it Elden Ring? Elder Scrolls. Gosh golly. Content you're watching is not actually live. These are past broadcasts from November 2022. Oh well, we're not going that one then, am I? I mean, we do always have the option of just being naughty and not raiding out. But I always feel naughty when you do that. We do have Dead by Daylight as an option. Like, because Elden. If you call it Skyrim, maybe it wouldn't happen as much. I know. Do you know what it is? When I talk about the game in general, I call it Skyrim. But for some reason, and it's only happened tonight, it's never happened before, I keep calling it fucking Elden Ring. And going to say Elder Scrolls. Never done it before tonight. It's a completely new annoyance. I know, it's really, I mean, I am odd, so I'm not completely surprised, but at the same time, it's like, To be fair, guys, by the looks of it, I don't think we're going to raid out today, which is very unusual and something I don't normally do. Hopefully, we'll find someone we can raid tomorrow, and it'll be really good. So, thank you very much for being with us tonight and joining me on yet another little adventure through, I went to say it again, through Skyrim. We'll be back tomorrow, round about the same time. If you just want to have your Twitch notification on, just make sure that's switched on and you'll find out when we go online. If you want to check through the Discord, then that's fine. Watch you raid someone on Skyrim and I'm just like, how are you liking Elden Ring? Yeah. Do you know what it is? I'd probably say that as well. But we're playing Elden Ring. No, we weren't. No, we weren't. I have played Elden Ring before, though. I do like that game. It is good. It is good. I'm not opposed to playing it again. Well, I say it again. I've played it like 5 times. But yes, we'll be back tomorrow. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. And I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for the followers, the new people that have came in. Thank you for the raids. I appreciate you greatly. I hope you all sleep well. I hope you have a wonderful Friday and a wonderful Saturday before I see you. Not Soulsborne. It's not for everybody. To be honest, I always hated Souls games and then I played Elden Ring. I still don't particularly like the other Souls games. I don't like Bloodborne. It's not my cup of tea. I can understand why people play it. I've watched many people play it. It's not my cup of tea. And I've played Dark Souls 1 briefly and I was like, maybe not, no. Love Elden Ring though. Weird. I wonder why Elden Ring was different. I have no idea. I hate Souls games. Yeah, I've got no idea why. Loved Elden Ring, was not a big fan of the other Souls games. There's one Souls-like I've played which was fun. What was that one? There's a game that I played on here not long ago, Steel Rising. That's Souls-like in the sense of you've got like overpowered bosses and you collect, I can't remember what you call them in there, but it's essentially like collecting souls and you've got your point you've got to go to and stuff. I liked it. Zelda did not like it. I liked it though. Zelda was in here. I said hello. I don't know if the herders bless them. I'm going to have to send them a message and I'll be like, I did say hello, Zelda. Remnant of Ashes. I've heard of that one. I didn't know that was Souls-like. Oh, I'll have to have a look into that. They're my jam. I mean, they're not for everyone. I can completely understand why people play them. I think what made us like Elden Ring though was the fact it was open world as well. Whereas not a lot of Souls games, as far as I'm aware, have such an open world feel. And if it got too hard, you could get help. I don't know if that's another Souls, like a general Souls thing as well or not. But Souls-like, but with guns. Oh. That is something to have a look at. But yes, right. I'm meant to be getting the dog sorted and stuff. She's sitting there like, I need a treat and I need to go out, woman. Stop speaking. Remnant's a good one. I will have to look that up. See? Oh, yeah, she's came for our camera time. Do you want to say hello to the people? Say hello. She sometimes goes, woo, 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 woo. No, I don't want licks. Thank you. I do not want the lickies. Thank you very much. Yeah, yeah. Say, this is Bella. Bella's making lots of snotty nose noises. Puppy. Yup. And here you are yapping. How dare I know. I'm coming. You want to go out? Oh. You want to go out? Is that what you need? That's your answer. Okay, guys. But yes, thank you very much. I shall see you all tomorrow. I hope you have a wonderful night. Bella hides in the... Bella is the darkness. I shall catch you later. Bye, everybody. Bye.